Welcome back to Shawnee Talks Lifestyle. We are so excited to have you back again on another episode. Now I want you to sit tight because you're going to really enjoy this next guest that we have for you on today. Now, before we get into that guest, I want you to stay tuned to this quick commercial. All right, everyone. I hope you really enjoyed that amazing commercial. Now, really quick before we introduce our next guest, his name is RJ Gadget. I know you're thinking of Inspector Gadget, but no, he's better. All right. So, really quick, a little bit about him. He actually is the principal creative director for an amazing company called the Upbeat Imagination Workshop. Now, you will see him in several places. You'll see him writing for Disney, writing for Pixar, writing Nickelodeon, all kinds of places like that. But his main focus is the Upbeat Imagination Workshop. And we're definitely going to get into that and just talk about how his journey began. But, you know, he's been in themed entertainment over 20 years. So he has a really great perspective, and he's based in Orlando, Florida. So it doesn't matter where you are. You can definitely get in touch with the workshop that he's at and kind of, you know, see if there's something that you could want to do that involves him. So without further ado, I want to introduce amazing guest, RJ.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
I'm doing well. I'm so excited to see you again.
Oh, pleasure. Definitely a pleasure. I've been looking forward to the day and just sharing the story. And it's great. I see the swag, you know, we're having a good conversation today. So we just, you know, just gonna dive in.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So as everybody already knows that watches this channel, I'm a huge fan of anything Disney, Pixar, whatever, anything entertainment. So definitely you stand out to me in the world of entertainment. And I want to know this just to kind of get everybody to connect with you really quick. Tell us about your family and how that all went with getting into entertainment and all those things.
Oh, wow. Well, I was born and raised in Savannah, Georgia. Savannah is a music town. It's known for its jazz. Believe it or not, like, you know, Bare Necessities, Zippity Doo-Dah was written by Johnny Mercer. He's from Savannah. And so they call a lot of the locals the Seeds of Johnny, which is a lot of us, you know, are in jazz musicians and beyond. But yeah, I got my start, you know, like many kids in the South, you know, playing in church, playing piano and drums, went to school for music at Georgia Southern University, majored in music and minored in fashion design, and then Berklee College of Music for audio production. So music is my core. You know, I've always have done it, always done production. A lot of my friends, you know, they Grammy people and Emmy people, so they do all that stuff, and I've always been around that, you know, coming up. But I always saw music in a visual sense, and that's where the theatrical side came in. You know, especially being from Georgia, you know, Florida is just a skip down, and so always go to Disney every year and, you know, Universal. And so I always had a different ear for music, you know, with visuals. And so I was like, you know, one day I want to do something like that. And fast forwarding after I graduated from Berklee, I said, let me see if I can come up with a kid show or something, you know, that can help. And I always had like an infatuation with like puppet characters, like Muppets.
Yes.
Yeah, because I was born in the 80s. So Fraggle Rock, you know, Muppet show. Yeah. And so I created my own puppet show called RJ and the Upbeats. That's how the Upbeat Imagination Workshop started. Actually, just live shows. And it went up to 12 different stage plays, 50 original characters. This was like way before I even did any Disney anything. And they actually went down to a puppet festival in Savannah, saw my shows. I stayed in contact with them along the way. And of course, you know, as a person of color, you know, trying to figure out, it's such a unique skill set to be in entertainment, especially in themed entertainment, whereas, you know, when people say themed entertainment, that's like anything with like live shows, with attractions, with, you know, anything like Disney parks. But for me to be a local in Savannah, I was trying to sort it out on my own. So it was interesting. I got a team around it with the live shows, but it was just live shows. I was doing a lot of sole proprietorship, you know, stuff on the side. You know, I didn't even have the S Corp yet. Just doing like game audio and music, you know, composition, like for film, games, and apps and stuff, just to pay the bills.
There.
Right. And so long story short, you know, I said, let me just make that move to go to Orlando.
Okay.
I can really get that exposure in themed entertainment, know how it works and functions.
Right.
First job was as a puppeteer at Disney. So
Wow.
yeah, I worked on a lot of the shows, hung out with Disney Junior, Little Mermaid, and so forth, many shows as a performer and puppeteer. Step back, of course, performing is not creative development, you know, so I really wanted to tap back into it. And so I just got a chance to work with, you know, a lot of major companies along the way, and ended up to where I ended up back at Disney, you know, working as a writer and music producer. So
Definitely. Yeah. I love it. I love it. So how was that? I have so many questions. Well, first of all, so you grew up in this town where music is. It's kind of like where I'm from, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
In fact, when I look at the Imagination Workshop, I'm like, that's Philly right there. But I guess everybody has their own niche in their own, you know, town of what they're doing musically. So I love that you put all that together and all those characters. And I just think it's beautiful of how it comes to life. And I totally understand what you mean about, you know, doing the one thing with the puppeteering and also trying to move into the development piece and where it was with Disney and things like that. So what I guess the next question that I would have for you is, when did you make that shift in your mind? Because I'm sure there was a shift in your mind that happened where you were like, I like doing this and I like what I'm doing here in entertainment, but I want to shift to this specific piece of it.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is really noticing the lack of a diversity, you know, the faces and perspectives in the creative development space and themed entertainment. I know there's been a long history of a lot of racism and just misogynist kind of things just over the years in the design of themed entertainment, you know, from the circuses, the freak shows, you know,
everything,
the film and television. And so I knew that, you know, having this opportunity to be in these circles, that I had to really push it in and open up a door, you know, for people of color to be in that creative space. And so since I was able to sit at that table, I just try to just hit as many, you know, times as I can to really find unique ways to make that happen. And it was just so necessary, you know, even Upbeat Imagination Workshop, we have a group called the Creative Quest Foundation that focuses on minorities that are pursuing careers in themed entertainment. And we provide workshops. Nickelodeon's partnered with us on that. Disney has as well. And just finding unique ways to empower people of color in the creative development area and show them what it takes to do those types of things. I mean, I just didn't have that coming up. I just had to figure it out and just kind of say, okay, let me be a performer. Let me bother this person on LinkedIn. Let me ask this person, you know, get a meal with this person, you know. So learning all those different things and actually taking those breadcrumbs and just really creating, you know, a path now, you know, I can just guide that to, you know, others. And so I just felt like it was just necessary, you know, for me to be a part of it. And especially taking what I've done with the Upbeat Imagination Workshop, you know, introducing that, you know, to the themed entertainment world, you know, showing that people of color have this capacity, that we have this creativity, you know, is a game-changing thing. And so it's a battle climb, but man, it's so much progress.
I love it. My whole connection to just puppets in general is church, because when I grew up, we had a children's church. And they used to use the puppets so you can memorize the songs and everything like that. So one of my child's favorites is the Muppet Babies.
Yeah.
Because it's the puppets. It's the same thing with the puppets and all that. So I definitely connected when I saw Upbeat Imagination. I was like, that right there. That takes me back to my childhood and everything. So back to the issue what you were talking about, the whole, you know, lack of diversity in entertainment in the whole themed area. So I would say you're probably the hub or the table where people can come who are minorities that can be able to break into those types of industries.
Yeah, definitely. I want to be that vessel, you know.
Yeah.
Take everything that I've learned as a mistake and just say, hey, don't do it because I did this crap and it's not working. So I
Definitely.
think sometimes people just lose so much time, just going in the wrong direction, just assuming that this direction is going to get me to this outcome. And it's so many times I had to stop and start and really listen to what's going on around me and really just really taking notes and not just always trying to be a trendsetter. Sometimes you can still be a trendsetter, but you got to learn some things too. So what you're doing is more effective, And so yeah, I really want to be that person and I'm continuously, empowering my team. We have quite a bit of contractors with the Upbeat Imagination Workshop, roughly about 20 of us. There are attraction designers, creative directors, show writers, animatronic programmers, producers, and they have backgrounds at Universal, SeaWorld, Disney, Imagineering, and it's really cool. Some actually, minorities of color, of course, but some are just getting started and some just got laid off. Some just got and so we really are becoming that group where it's like, hey, let's all rally the troops. Let's find opportunities for people as they transition. And as we grow, we can, hire people on full time. We would love for that to happen.
Right.
And it's slowly but surely, but yeah, it's great things coming. Yeah.
So let's talk about that. So, and I have quite a few friends in the entertainment industry. Now some of them are able to kind of do their work at home. They play instruments, drumming and piano and such, but they're doing it by themselves or in a live sets, very spaced out.
Yeah.
Or whatever like that. So, for anybody who's in the entertainment industry, what are some tips or some things that you would advise them as far as how to pivot in the midst of this pandemic?
Yeah. Really being open to what it takes to be different in your perspective on music, especially music.
Okay.
I think sometimes people get locked into, this is my style, these are my instruments, these are my choices. And I think with you have to be very multifarious and really, yank yourself at so many points, when you're developing something for a story, it's different than actually, even though, what stories are still told in lyrics. Right. That's true.
Oh yeah.
But it's a different thing when it involves characters in motion in real time.
Okay, let's talk about that. So how is it different?
Yeah, what happens is you have to take total recognition of the moment and really knowing how to define. Well, I just did this presentation with Disney Dreamers Academy about mood and emotion.
Okay.
And mood is literally creating music with the intention to create the moment that you're like, for example, like going to a haunted house, right?
Right.
They literally create music for that moment to
I believe it.
Get you to right. Or Christmas, Christmas here is sleigh bells,
right?
All these different things. These are all trigger points to create the mood, and then the emotion part is the response to that. And so there's a lot of that, like for example, like, oh, Christmas makes me happy. That's the emotion. Right. Well, dang, this place is scary.
Right.
So those are the emotions. And so in themed entertainment, you have to intentionally create those moments again and again and again.
Oh yeah.
In the room, from the cue where you first walk in, the actual ride where a monster comes out and you totally miss, and the music just connects with that.
Oh yeah.
And then you get off and the music just subsides, and it's those are all different things that you have to pay attention to in that realm. So practicing that, massaging that in your mindset, not thinking that trap music works everywhere, R&B music works everywhere.
I got somebody that's gonna be watching this. You heard them. They know who they are. I'm not gonna shout them out. They're amazing, actually.
I know.
But trap music don't work everywhere. Okay.
Yeah, you're just not gonna get on Space Mountain. It's like it's not gonna happen. Even in the most simplest way, you can put it in there. The creative director's like, that's not telling the story. That's not what this is. And so you have to really be open about, what does it take to do it and adjusting. And that's what's going to make you valuable when you're able to do it.
Wow. I hope y'all taking these gems down because he's dropping it here. You're getting an insight to what he has to say. Come on, this is going to help you. So that's really Amazing. I know for myself, I have a really crazy journey. So I dabble in a few things. I would call myself a multi dabbler, whatever. That's not
Yeah,
the
yeah,
word,
yeah.
but a multi dabbler. Yeah. So I do music. I actually didn't play piano until maybe about 6 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And I played piano, and it was a really weird situation that happened as to how that came about. It actually happened from someone that I've been knowing since I was 8 years old, and he decided to go to the left, and I was going to the right, and it was shocking to me because I knew him for such a long time, and I thought of him almost like family.
Yeah.
So when the rejection piece happened in the midst of that relationship,
Yeah.
I said to God, I said, if you would anoint my hands to play, then I will play for you. You know, and what I meant by that, let me clarify. At that time in my local fellowship where I was going, he was pretty much the sole player. So if he pretty much had gone, there wouldn't have been anyone else who could play. There's lots of people who could sing, but not particularly play. So that's what I meant when I said, Lord, I'd serve you in that area. So it didn't happen quick.
Of course.
It took some, like everybody else, they'd be like, oh, somebody did this for you and then you're good, and
right.
Did it for you. No, it didn't happen like that. I had to work at it. But but what did happen was about 2 years after asking the Lord to do that and really applying myself to try to learn this, he did really take me to levels that I never thought would ever be possible. So saying all that to say, like dabbling in all those things, having the interesting journey. One of the things you said when you were sharing your whole story that I heard was that it's those private moments that prepare you for the public big moments that you've been desiring in the midst of your heart for. Right. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. I mean, if you didn't even have those private moments or some of the failures, I don't know, you can talk about that if you want, but some of the failures that happened, we wouldn't even know about Upbeat Imagination.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like, oh man, if you're afraid to fail, you don't deserve to win.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's like the failures are the things that put the meat on the bone, right? Because it's like you just know like, oh, I can't do that again, and those are the things that's going to save you time and save other people money and yourself money.
Definitely.
And especially in my realm, you really have to be open about, what's working and what's not, especially I think we talked a lot about music, the show writing side, when I'm working in themed entertainment. There's a lot of just that doesn't match, or this character doesn't belong in this thing, or that, or whatever else. And so really having to be open to that input and change, knowing how to be savvy and have natural finesse, continuing adjusting, and it's building who you are and knowing that's doing good for you instead of being, standoffish about it, knowing that every moment like that is going to sustain you to the next moment, and give you the tools. So when you do it again, you're going to be so much better. And I mean, I've wrote like well over 12 different shows for Disney Cruise Line, like with Epcot, I've done with them. I mean, with Imagineering, it's just a lot of cool, places. But to get in the room, you have to have these on. You gotta know, you gotta have this to really know this is not working and this is. And this is what people want to see. And this is what people don't want to see. Because, especially with those worlds, I mean, people, they pay to come see, those characters come to life. They know what those characters are like in the films. They know what they're like on the shows. And so if you got them up there doing the nay-nay,
watch me whip.
Who they are, and it's going to be backlash, and then your bags are packed, so, but hopefully I didn't change it off too much.
Oh, no, you're good. So in talking about, and this is the thing I love about you that really attracted me to who you are as a person is the fact that you choose to make your environment diverse.
Yeah.
Some people choose to live not knowing, they're good. Like, I'm good, me and myself and my two or whatever. And they don't know, their perspective's not anywhere else, like around the world. They don't even know what that is. But you choose to actually broaden your perspective by creating spaces that are diverse, even in this world of themed entertainment. So how has that played out sometimes for you when you've had to do things that maybe didn't reflect who you were? That could probably be.
Oh, wow. Well, I'll hit the diverse part first.
Okay.
I remember, I think a lot of that is from my curiosity. That's the key word, this whole part.
It killed the cat now, but go ahead. I said it killed the cat, but go ahead.
Yeah, like, oh, yeah, yeah, but but I think the curiosity of knowing how your skill functions, what it does. Music has always been like this thing where it's like, what is it? What else can it do?
Yes.
What are the pipes that you can come out of it? I think the first time I really thought about it, I always had this interest in how music was. I used to go to, back in the day, Walmart used to have that 80%, tub where the CDs were just thrown in there. And I used to just do this, just grab them. And I would just, anything, I would come up with Celtic music and Irish music and polka and Russian and all these different types of music, music from Hawaii, music from France, bossa nova, and just play them around the house. So I'll know this is what it takes to do this type of style. This is what it takes to do that type of style. Instead of saying, hey, 808, I can put that in there, then that's going to be music, or that's going to be this music. But no, that's what you're thinking it is. If you put a tuba in there, that still doesn't make it
right.
Okay. It still is have the authenticity and the chord choices and so forth. And so diversity is so important, and it just opened up doors for me to be able to expand into that world and know how to touch base on it. And I think some people just are scared of it,
Yeah.
Some people are scared of just jumping out in that direction, but for some odd reason it just works. And it brings value to who you are as a person.
Definitely. Yeah. People are sometimes just so comfortable with what they're comfortable with. They're not always willing to leap out into the unknown.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. Yeah. So I guess the last question that I would have, and this has been amazing, this time with you, just getting to hear about everything that you're doing and your heart and all of that. But what I would love to know is, could you give those who are out there 3 tips on how to create that diverse lifestyle, whether it's music, entertainment, or whatever?
Yeah. 3 things. It's so hard to get 3 things, but if I had to, I would say be open. Be open to anything. Creativity is a choice, of how, and it can go way past what you even could imagine. I knew I would be, in that realm one day with, working in all these different companies, even with Nickelodeon, I worked with them, Universal, I worked with them, in these different capacities. It wasn't until I would open my mind and is when I actually was able to receive it and be prepared. That's another thing. So when you get that opportunity, you have already groomed yourself to walk into it.
Right.
And that's the part that I think a lot of people aren't prepared for it. They want everything to happen for them, but when it comes to their doorstep, they're not ready. And so you have to intentionally act like it's already there. You got to have faith and believe that, if you want this to happen, you see yourself in certain places, you prepare yourself for that. It's so many shows I've done, writing my own shows and no one showed up, or this thing didn't get enough money. Just slid the home base. Made $5, yes, and then just all those things just prepared me for the multi-million-dollar budget stuff.
Nice.
That I had to function, and then when you get there, I think the third thing is when you get there, be humble.
That should be number one.
Yeah.
Keep that pie next to you.
Yeah, have humility, because one thing that's about this industry is that if people think that you are a jerk, it's gonna be a long day.
Yeah.
And you want to be able to bring that energy, that positive energy, into every situation, because creativity, it leaks, in so many different ways. So if you are coming in there with this terrible energy, it's going to leak into the actual content. It's going to leak into the team. It's going to leak into the actual product. And so, coming in with a clear mind and then giving that energy to your team and everyone is bound to do well.
I love it. All right, you guys, but you heard it here on Shoney Talks Lifestyle. Look, I want you to do a couple of things. I want you to go on Instagram, and I want you to go follow RJ. His Instagram is Gadget Temple. Yeah. Correct, right? Gadget Temple on Instagram. Also, go ahead and go to his website, which is posted below, and make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you get the notifications. Make sure that you check him out. And listen, like he was saying, don't wait for these things to happen. Prepare for these things. Start preparing now. Some of the investments that you get to make in yourself, the best investment, right? That you get to make in yourself, you don't know when that chance is going to come or when that opportunity is going to come. But I'll tell you this, he said to prepare. So definitely when you connect with them, go ahead and check out the Imagination Workshop. Check out what they're doing with the diversity and inclusion over there. That's really what drew me to it. I really love that. And those of you, if you are in the entertainment field and you're watching this and you like, I don't know where my next whatever going to come from, reach out. See if maybe there's some things opened where he is. And see what's going on. Yeah. And if you want to start a project or you have you've done your work and you want to do something, check him out. And then what he's doing.
Yeah, we have a couple of websites, the www.tuiworkshop.com. That's where you'll see all of our content that we worked on, animated films, television, 3D animation, all kind of cool stuff there. And then if you're a minority that's pursuing those careers and want to get, connected around other people, we have CQF Minority Park. That's a group that's on Facebook. Make sure you check us out there, and also CreativeQuestFoundation.com. And that's where you can join in on the newsletter. We have mixers and all all different types of people. So love to see you.
Yes. And actually, we're going to show this video really quick so you can see behind the scenes in the Imagination Workshop. And we'll talk to you later on Shoney Talks Lifestyle. Bye.